Hello and welcome everyone. So in today's session, we are talking about how to read better and faster. When it comes to English language, there are all the skills that are to be taken care of, not just speaking, but reading, writing, listening, everything. So today we're talking about your reading skills. Now, these reading skills also eventually help you in speaking and writing as well. Now, there's a word given here that is conviction. Now, maybe it could be a new word for you people, maybe that you heard it already. Conviction means belief. So we have to have that faith or belief that yes, we can do something or we can achieve it. See, while reading, what happens is there are different problems that we face. And today we are going to work on your major problems that the learners have shared with me that they face when it comes to reading. Now, let's quickly start without wasting our time. And this is the very first thing. Now, you see, I've given an example here. I read an amazing book last week, Brilliant Insight. So, what was it about? Okay, let me see. So, it talked about some strategy. You know what? It wasn't really that great a book. So, what happened is this man was vouching that the book had brilliant insights. And the moment he was asked that what did he read, what was it about, he could not express. Reason is that he read, but he could not understand, or his reading ability was not that good. Let me get my baseball bat. I want to thank you. So that man got furious at him because if you're talking about a book that you read last week and you are vouching that, okay, that was amazing, and you could not explain or express, then it is of no use. Anyone would get furious. Even I would. Even you would. Right? So this is what happens. So we don't have to we don't have to be this man. If we've read something, we should understand it in first reading. When it comes to emails, when you read mails, or when you read different articles or other newspaper articles, maybe magazine, do you understand what you read in one go? If not a problem. We will solve it today itself. Let's have a look at this. The major problem is what you read, you forget. And second is the vocabulary creates confusion. Now, for vocabulary, I've already given a session. There are 5 ways to master the vocabulary part. You have to work on it, watch it, work on it, and vocabulary problem would be solved. Today, we're going to talk about vocabulary part a bit, but majorly we'll talk about first problem, that is what you read, you forget. So let's quickly go and have a look at it. Let's quickly address these problems. Now, this is an article, Mystery Queen, okay? If I ask you to just read, to go through it, to read it, what happens is you read the entire thing, and if I happen to ask you a question out of it, suddenly we don't get, okay, did we read it? Was it there? See, these numbers are simple to take up. From now onwards, what you do is read a small paragraph, stop, and ask yourself that what have you read? Explain it to yourself. Only then move on to the next one. Okay, this is important, guys. This is actually important. Now, the problem is what you read, you forget. The solution is start reading in chunks. Now, chunks means in short parts, For example, here, if I say Christie was probably the most successful writer in history, she wrote 78 crime novels, 6 other novels, 150 short stories, 4 non-fiction books, and 19 plays. That represents 2 billion books sold, more than William Shakespeare. Now, if I ask you, what have I read? Or if I ask myself, what did I just read? I have no clue. I just know Christie. That's it. So this is what happens. But if we read in parts, in chunks, see how it is. Christie was probably the most successful writer in history. She wrote 78 crime novels, 6 other novels, 150 short stories, 4 non-fiction books, and 19 plays. That represents 2 billion books sold, more than William Shakespeare. Now, if you ask me, I know that Christie was termed as the best writer. She's 78 crime books, 19 plays. Okay, so all this now I know, and 2 billion books sold at the end, and that is more than William Shakespeare. So now I know because I read it in chunks. So we have to make sure, guys, that we read in chunks. There is a common, I would say, there's a strategy behind this. Why do you think that newspaper articles are printed in row or column format? Why don't they start from one end and finish it to the other end? Because they want that the thing should be written in chunks, in different parts, so that you read it that way. It is human tendency, our eyes focus on particular area and only that part goes to brain and it processes it. Okay, so we have to bear this in mind. So start reading in chunks. Number 2, be an active reader. We have to be an active reader instead of being a passive reader. We have to be an active reader. Now, what do I mean by be an active reader and not a passive one? Now, active reader is one who is into it, who is actually participating while reading. Like, it would keep on questioning, okay, what can be the next? We are knitting the story. If it's not a story, even if it's an article, we're knitting it. Okay, maybe this is possible, or because of this happened. Okay, that is active reader. But passive reader is one who lacks purpose, like reading just for the sake of reading. I just have to read it because I just want to read it. That should not be the case. We have to take charge of reading. We should not get flowed, but we should be taking charge of it and analyzing it at every step. The third one is develop skepticism. Skepticism, another vocabulary word for you probably. Question author's opinion. Instead of just reading or getting what is written in the article, you can develop questioning power. You can ask questions. Okay, you can be skeptic. Okay, that won't be a problem. You can be skeptic. You can keep on asking questions to it. While reading, you can say, okay, is this also possible, or is it possible? Okay, probably the author could have written this, or why is this said, why not this? You can keep on questioning. That is again an active reader. So the problem, what you read you forget, gets solved here only. But you try to be an active reader, major problem is resolved. And the next one is take control of reading. I've already told you. Make references, predictions. You can conclude what can or will happen. Keep on going with it. Keep on going with it. Problem number 1 will be solved easily. Major idea, I would suggest you start reading in chunks. You should know where to take a pause. Apart from the punctuations, it is not that only punctuations are places where we take pauses. No, there are different places we take pauses. So you should know where to take a pause. That is what it matters. Now, problem 2 is vocabulary creates confusion, and solution is vocabulary can never be crammed. Please follow SMART approach. And from SMART approach, I had already told you M is important. That's muster. You club words, you group them and learn it. Vocabulary has to be inculcated. It has to be absorbed, read and feed. Don't cram the meaning. You will forget it in the next 2 days. Okay, read and feed, follow SMART approach, and go through the words again and again. Vocabulary, I have already spent an entire session on vocabulary, 5 ways to master vocabulary, where we had discussed SMART approach. Kindly watch, kindly see the ways, whichever method you find feasible. If you've not watched it, watch it and enhance your vocabulary. Work on it if you wish to work on it. So, read, and read. This is what I would say reading ability and vocabulary will help you. Read what you like. Start reading what you like. Don't start with newspapers or articles, like I would say intense topics. First, if you don't have a habit of reading, Please start reading what you like. For example, comics, sports news if you like sports, fashion magazines if you are into fashion. Read anything that interests you. Okay, then read what is relevant. Then you can come to something. If you're going for some let's say some interview, you can read that is related to your interview part. Okay, so some seminar to attend, you should know about it as well. Your examination is there, you can read it to examination's perspective. That is sure up to you. That's completely up to you. Okay, so read and read is one method how you can enhance your reading ability. Now here I have taken contextual vocabulary for you people. Contextual here means that words that matter, that are important for you. Scampering is number one. Scampering is nothing when you, let's say, whenever what happens, we enter slowly in house, we get late at night and we're trying to enter house. We don't want our parents to come to know that we are late. What we do is we scamper. We scamper in the house, like little steps. We just try to enter the room so that the parents don't come to know. So run quickly with light steps due to fear or excitement is scampering. All right. Next word is improvise. Improvise, guys, we should always be ready to improvise. See, improvise is without any preparation, you have to do something. Okay, let's say for example, while you were performing on stage, let's say a theater performance, and your friend forgot his or her dialogue, and on the spot you change it and you frame something, some idea, and you change the entire flow of the theater act and you took it on your own. That is improvisation. Instead of things getting spoiled, if you improvise at the step at that stage, you can make it better. Okay, so create or perform spontaneously without any preparation is improvise. Next comes reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is nothing but a survey or an exploration. There's a reconnaissance of oil, petroleum, right? That's research, exploration of moon or earth or other planets. Okay, that's reconnaissance. Next comes purport. Purport is nothing but pretend, you can say, like you have to appear claim to do something, like especially falsely, which means you are not you're just pretending it to be. Okay, that is false, it's not true. So indirectly this word is pretend. And the next word is contentious. Contentious in one word is controversial. Controversial is also a hot potato. A hot potato is also termed as a controversial issue, or you can say a contentious issue. Okay, so that was a contentious show and contentious episode that I saw today. You can use it in sentence that way. Okay, so whenever these are just 5 words. I'm talking about words that you can see. The moment I say scampering, you can relate it to your activities. Related to one such moment where you scampered. Improvise, again related to person around you who improvises every single step. Okay, with reconnaissance, survey, research, exploration, you can muster, you can club them. This is what I was talking about when I said this. That is muster. You can club the words together. Okay, so please remember these words, and this is what I have for you in store today. I would see you in the next session soon. Till then, keep working on your reading ability, have that conviction, and don't be contentious at all. Okay, thank you so much.